episode of Beyond the Black Rims. I'm Mars Girl.
I'm Josh Knight the First.
And this is Season 7, Episode 8.
Or Episode 150 if you're counting.
Oh, it's really been...
It's a milestone.
Yeah. So, as you can tell, if you're here with us live, we're back on YouTube.
We're back, mofos. What you gonna do about it?
So,
you're gonna watch. Please keep watching.
So, I'm so glad about this because, man, YouTube has been such a hassle.
They, like, putting it lightly, they put you through the ringer.
Sure did. So
I'm just saying.
So back on YouTube, and we wanted to come back to YouTube because, you know, being on Twitch is good. However, being on Twitch means that if we want to talk about stuff that's not gaming, we're always kind of risking that one guy coming along like, oh, I came along during a story that's not gaming related, even though we pretty much always talk about something gaming related, and then
most of the time
they'll go and flag my Twitch channel, and I don't want that. So we're reserving Twitch for just game streams and similar stuff. So yay, back to YouTube after 3 months of them really, they took down my channel, and then they put it back up, and then they gave me a copyright strike, and then I was done for 3 months, and then they took monetization away from me 2 days ago, but then they gave it back to me yesterday, so everything is relatively normal, except I'm never gonna see the Rurouni Kenshin video ever again, because they won't give that back.
Well, that blows.
Yeah, but, you know, other than that, things are normal. Things are good.
Normal, you're just missing a limb.
Yeah, I'm just missing one, like a toenail. Missing a toenail.
Okay, toenail. You can lose a toenail. Toenails grow back.
It's
fine.
This is why I also want to thank the contributors over at patreon.com/MarsGirl who make this show and all kinds of other stuff happen. In fact, I just went and revamped a whole bunch of my Patreon tiers. Because I'm so thankful for you guys, because otherwise I'd be out adrift at sea and I would drown and be eaten by a shark.
Patreon tiers? You mean you make them cry?
Tiers, not tears. In fact, the tiers now start at just $1.
You make people cry for $1? Where can I get that job?
Patreon.com/MarsGirl. I already said this.
Advertising.
So,
all right.
So they start at just $1 now, and I'll totally tweet out thanks directly at you so that everybody can see that you did a thing and it was awesome. And now at a $15 tier, I'm going to send you personalized autographed postcards. Yeah, that's a thing I'm doing now. I'm excited about that one, actually. So please check that out.
Yes.
I would really like to be giving back to you guys. That'd be amazing. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yay, YouTube!
Yay.
You horrible suckers. Alright, what else has been going on that's not related to YouTube?
I released a new video on YouTube.
You did! You know what? I'm actually really excited about that.
You asked me about something not related, and that's all I got.
But you know what? No, this needs to be talked about. So, did any of you guys watch the first episode of Kamen Rider Ex-Aid?
Because I know I did.
Yeah, there is a group that is subtitling it right now, and there's another group that says they're subtitling it, but I have yet to see proof of that, so...
it's probably coming.
But you can watch it now, and Josh talked about that first episode, and I think made a very intelligent conversation about it. I helped edit it.
Yes.
And actually you're doing very well, because you only have a little over 200 subscribers yourself, but your video currently has over 700 views, so that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good.
How did that happen? Do enough people like watching the pink guy?
Yeah, I guess
that's the case. All right.
It's more people than typically watch these episodes of Beyond the Black Rims, actually. I think that's pretty good.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, so go to his channel, Josh Knight the First, and go check out that episode of him talking about Ex-Aid, because he's going to be doing it more often.
I do hope to keep it up, because admittedly, thankfully at this point, between the two of us, we understand enough Japanese to where when The Raw came out, we were able to translate most of it ourselves. Not like don't start expecting us to go subbing. That's too much. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Except those people who are crazy enough to do it, and God bless those people who do it.
Yeah.
But, I was able to understand enough of the plot to be able to relate it back to people. And I think people absolutely want that here now. Fast, please let me understand what this show is about. And that's what I tried to deliver.
Exactly. So I think you did a pretty good job. Otherwise, what else is happening in the world right now?
Okay, so this is funny enough to bring up. So, you know, like last week we were complaining about Lion King live action?
Uh-huh.
Now they're talking about Mulan live action this week.
Oh,
That's a thing.
Well, I thought that was just people being like, oh, I sure wish this was a thing.
Well, now they're doing it harder.
They're doing it like Disney is doing it.
Disney
harder?
is doing it, but the people.
I mean,
she
deserves it the most because she's an actual historical figure.
Well,
Granted, the animated movie portrayed it kind of incorrectly. Same with Pocahontas, but
yeah, but that's kind of to be expected. But no, the thing about it is like. The reason people were talking about it so much before is, you know, we've talked on the show about Yoshi Sudarso before, who was Koda over there on Power Rangers Super Dino Charge.
Mm-hmm.
People have been petitioning for the longest time, oh my god, he needs to be in this movie, he'll be Li Shang, he'll be the perfect Li Shang. And now that it's happening, people are actually tweeting at Disney, hey, he's right here, please. And I'm like, hey, you might want to listen to him, the guy can do it.
But I'm not sure he's Chinese. I don't think.
Well, no, my only concern is can he sing? That's my only concern.
I don't know if he can or not. I don't know if he's ever been put in that position for
Now,
us to find out.
Now, here's the idea that I've got. If he can't sing, we take his page from history with Mulan. Let Jackie Chan sing for him.
Yeah, that happened with both the Cantonese and Mandarin. He sang both versions
For that character,
character, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying here. Just let him sing.
You want Jackie Chan to sing the English version of, what is it? Not
Be a Man. Over Yoshi Sudarso lip syncing it.
I don't think that would sound good.
It would be
personally.
amazing.
I think it would be funny. I don't think it would be good.
I think it would be amazing.
Okay, all right,
I think other people would agree that's at least worth the price of admission, I would say, right there.
All right. I'll take your word for it. Well, maybe we should actually talk about what we're going to talk about on the show today.
We have a show?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're on it right now.
Oh.
We're live right now.
Right now.
In this room. On this screen.
Okay.
That's the camera right there.
Okay.
They see you.
I'm going to speak
they
into the camera.
They hear you. The microphone's there.
Okay.
They hear
Microphone's
you.
there.
See you.
Camera's
right
there.
there.
I'm going to speak into the camera.
Okay. You're the one with the
I'm
Batman shirt.
I'm wearing the Batman shirt.
Him?
So our first story of the evening, we just found out about within an hour. I love it when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
We find out about something just before we're going to go live. So we have some new information about this upcoming Batman 66 animated movie that's actually going to be in theaters this coming Monday, but there's a sequel already planned and some very surprising information about the villain they're going with for that movie, and we're going to talk to you guys about that.
Cool information, yeah.
Yes.
Secondly, I know we're not on Twitch today, but we do a lot of stuff on Twitch, and now Twitch just had TwitchCon, and at TwitchCon, they talked about Twitch Prime, because Twitch is now partnered under Amazon after that purchase, last year or so. So there's all kinds of new information in regards to Twitch Prime and what that means you're going to be able to do and all kinds of rewards to come along with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the last bit of news, admittedly, it's a bit antagonizing if you're seeing this like, who said that? So a particular director of anime decided to make the comment that he considers anime to be dead.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about which director that was, why he said it, what reason he had to say it, and
whether or not it's really a viable reason.
We're really whether or not we agree with him, because
yeah.
I mean, one opinion versus a guy in the industry.
Yeah, exactly.
Or two opinions, as it were.
So, but before that, I know we've got follow-ups, right?
Yes, we've got follow-ups. So first and foremost, every week start out with the DC stuff. Full-blown Justice League, let's get it up there. Full-blown.
That was not quite.
No, that's not quite.
I'm sorry.
We're past not quite. We've gone into full-blown territory.
Okay, see, here's another thing that you have not told me, is that because I always expect for you to be like, oh, well, somehow we still have not quite Justice League news. And so you always are like, you better keep that picture around. You better keep that picture around. And so I do. And you know what? I know we just went over, hey, Kaylin, get your together to get pictures up on screen correctly. But I don't know where it is, but I know we're not quite Justice League.
It's right there.
It's right there. All right, well, there it is. Yes, you're upset. Let's
okay,
go.
so anyway, full-blown Justice League. Of course, that's the term that we use to deal with Warner Brothers' Justice League movie coming out next year. They have finished most of the filming in London. They're going to do a few shoots up there around Greenland for some exterior shots, but otherwise filming is done. Finally. And they've been filming this thing for quite some time now. Hopefully now that they've done the primary chunk of filming, we'll actually start to see things like, I don't know, Superman. He's in this movie too, apparently. Guy in a red cape, maybe you guys know him. Maybe you wouldn't recognize him because of the way they're depicting him. Not that hard to imagine. Okay, but let's move on to other DC movie news. We can get rid of that.
All right.
Talking specifically about Ben Affleck's solo Batman movie. So he's gone on record this week as saying the title for this upcoming movie is The Batman.
Okay, well, there was a cartoon series called The Batman.
And it was just okay.
Yeah, I mean, some people really liked it because it was kind of 66 Batman-esque in some ways.
Nah, it was very post-modern, but not in the good way, like Batman Beyond was.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, that wasn't really my thing. I'm not saying that movie's going to be like that. They just decided to go with The Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's it. That's all we've got on that.
Okay, cool.
I wish I had more to report on that, but that's what we've got there.
Thank you.
That's all the DC stuff. Let's get over to Marvel. All right, so Justice League finished filming.
Okay.
Spider-Man Homecoming has finished filming.
Cool.
So we're done with that. We're probably not going to see any more set pictures. Sorry, guys, if you're just heading out to New York and you're like, oh, man, I'm totally going to get a picture with Tom Holland. That's not going to happen anymore. He's gone. He's moved on to other things.
All right.
Press tours.
I don't know. I think we're the only ones who wanted him to come back for a trilogy. I think most everybody else didn't, and they don't understand why we liked the old Spider-Man.
But I'm talking about Tom Holland, the current Spider-Man who's only been in one movie.
Well, good.
You forgot which Spider-Man I was talking about.
Yeah, I don't know which Spider-Man is
Oh
which.
my god.
I know them visually. I don't know their names.
Okay, so moving on to some other news. All right, this weekend at New York City Comic Con, there's going to be several different panels of many different things I wish I could see for myself. But one of the things we can see is that ahead of Marvel's panel, we have a picture of Finn Jones there as Iron Fist for the new series over there on Netflix. It's going to be coming out next year. This art just came out there. It's a variant poster you can get there at the event. Looking pretty nice. You know, he's got the dragon tattoo there on his chest. The only thing really missing there is, like, his hands being wrapped up, the sash around his waist, and the mask. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, if they're going the Daredevil route, which I imagine they are, because that's kind of the way they're doing things, and they build up to the reason he's wearing a mask, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be fine with this, just like I was with Luke Cage.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, Luke Cage is out there right now. If you haven't watched it, get with it, act like you want it.
Probably should, yeah.
Yes. So that's the Marvel end of things. Let's go ahead and move on to a few other things. Let's talk about giant robots.
Okay.
Pacific Rim 2. We're still waiting for them to start filming.
But they keep announcing people.
They keep announcing people. That's one thing. But the other thing is that PacificRim2.com has gone live today. So they've got an official website. We've got that.
They're making moves. I'm not worried about it.
I just wish they'd be more definite, like the camera's rolling and the actors are doing things.
Well, they have to cast them first.
But why do they have to cast so many? I'll take what we've got. I don't even
No,
know what we've got, and
you
I'll
don't-
take what we've got.
No, you need to have a complete movie before you start filming.
I know that, but I want the robots.
Calm down.
I want
Please,
robots.
Stop it.
You know what? I want robots so bad. The next story's gonna be about robots.
All right. You said that it was gonna be robot stuff already.
It's gonna be Voltron.
Okay.
So again, going back to New York Comic Con, they have announced, finally, thank goodness, because enough people were asking for it, there will be a Voltron Legendary Defender, that version of the Lion Robot action figure next year. 14 inches tall, lights up, does catchphrases and things like that. Will be going on sale next year.
This is a very long, stringy picture. Like, whose camera takes a picture like this?
I don't know, man. I'm assuming they cropped it.
Okay.
That's where I'm coming from with that. I'm assuming that was cropped. But either way, I'm very much looking forward to that. I know people have been hankering for some Voltron merch ever since the series came out, and since we just got that new Season 2 trailer released for everybody to see, and now you don't have to look at the grainy YouTube footage. But of course, we'll have that to look forward to, and more Voltron coming next year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so every so often on the show, I like to bring up the brand of toy called Hot Toys, which do these foot-tall toys that scare the hell out of you because they're Uncanny Valley. Well, now...
And this is not Hot Toys.
This is not Hot Toys. This is
Fig
my
Arts.
Fig Arts, which would be my favorite toy line. They're pressing into the Uncanny Valley with Han Solo here from A New Hope. And I don't know if you can blow that up there. Like, look at this. Look at Harrison Ford's face.
It's
like,
too real.
Like, that's... Like, look at that. Look at that face. It's
too real.
So real.
I can't.
And he's only about that big.
Like, I can't do this, Josh.
It's better than the black figures.
It's too real. No, he scares me. Like, it's
but
awesome.
I thought you liked Harrison Ford.
I do. I really like Harrison Ford, but I don't like scary, realistic things that look like Harrison Ford aren't Harrison Ford.
See, now I'm gonna go out of my way. I'm gonna pre-order them on Amazon.
No,
I'm gonna wait until you're asleep.
I don't want it.
And then I'm gonna put them right by your face.
It's
that way,
cool,
when you
but
wake
I don't
up,
want it.
You're gonna wake up right next to tiny little Harrison Ford looking right at you.
No, this is not the Harrison Ford I wanted.
And he's gonna be right there like, Chewie, We're in her home.
Stop it.
It's going to be
I'm
amazing.
taking him away.
All right, get him out of here. Okay, so we also talked to you guys before about the mini Nintendo that Nintendo's coming out with this holiday season. Well, Japan didn't want to miss out on that. So they're getting in with the mini Famicom, which is only slightly different from the Nintendo that we're getting.
Just a couple of different games. And of course, Japanese language rather than their English language counterparts.
Now, admittedly, for somebody like me who realizes how expensive a regular-sized Famicom is, I would just have it to have it. Just to say I've got that piece of hardware at all.
Yeah, but you don't. It's a little emulator box.
I don't care.
You can't load it with any more games.
I don't have to.
You
it came
can't
preloaded.
buy any more games for it.
It's fine.
You can't play any other games that aren't on the machine.
It's okay.
It's not okay. I want other games. I want more games.
I understand you want more games. But you can only have so many games.
Well, forget it. I don't want it.
Alright, fine. Get out of here. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the Power Rangers reboot movie. Of course, again, at New York City Comic Con, I don't know if you guys have picked up on this. I really want to be there.
Yeah.
There is going to be the panel that's going to be live streamed this Saturday. So you guys can just go ahead and follow them on social media, Facebook or Twitter. They'll link to that. But ahead of the reveal of potentially a teaser trailer there on Saturday, we have our first look at the Red Ranger's Power Sword that's going to be used in the movie. Now, I don't know if you guys can really tell here. It's not exactly the shape it was in back in the show.
I can't tell how big it is either. You know?
See,
there's nothing to compare it to right now.
Well, one, it's a size thing, and two, based off the limited edition figure that's going to be available there at New York City Comic Con, I can't tell if it's one or another thing, so this is how it's breaking down for me. This is either a large sword that they will be using, or it's actually a wrist-mounted sword, as per the way the figure looks, but I'm not sure if that's the case, or if that's just their interpretation of the sidearm weapon that all the Rangers carry.
Right.
I don't know. But really, what gives me the most hope having seen this is that if they've got the Red Ranger's weapon, then they've got to have all the other ones. They've got to have the axe, the bow, the lance, the daggers. Basically, I want Howling Cannon.
I know. It's really my hope, of course, like anybody else, is that it's going to... This movie's still going to function like Power Rangers should function, despite how it looks, but I'm just not sure yet. I'm really not. I know.
Like, I don't hate it, but I know it's like... You guys are redesigning things in a way I'm not sure I'm cool with.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I have to see it in function, and we should get some of that, and we'll definitely be talking about that next week.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, so moving on to some anime news here. So, Funimation, of course, had that Kickstarter for the redub of Escaflowne. Now they're moving ahead with that. We just saw that Funimation released a clip of the new dub featuring Aaron Dysamusk as Vaughn. I'm okay with it.
It sounds pretty alright. It's basically the same lines, but slightly rewritten a little bit differently so that it's not a complete copy of the Bandai dub, and at the same time, it looks really good.
Yeah, see, that was the next thing. If you're not down with the audio, that video is clean.
Yeah, that HD looks so pretty, you guys.
So for visual alone, if you like Escaflowne, do yourself a favor, get that HD box when it comes out. Moving over to some anime live-action news. So we've gotten some spy shots on set from the live-action Bleach movie. There with Sota Fukushi, who of course had played Kamen Rider Fourze previously. They're in the role of Ichigo Kurosaki. They're in the streets of, I believe they're in Tokyo. Apparently some fans both here and in Japan are commenting on the costume saying, I've seen cosplay better than this.
Maybe? I mean, I guess, but the cosplay, the costume's not exactly super detailed.
That's exactly where I'm coming from. Like, I've cosplayed from Bleach before myself, and that costume's not hard.
Yeah.
Like, you just buy it and you wear it.
You buy some robes, and then it drapes over you, and you win. It's over.
Right, so really, I'm not going to judge it so much based off the visuals, because, yeah, he's in his Soul Reaper outfit right there. What I'm going to base it on is how he portrays Ichigo.
Right.
So that remains to be seen. Hopefully we'll get some footage or see any of the other characters at this point very, very soon. And then the last thing I wanted to bring up was in relation somewhat to Kamen Rider Ex-Aid. So, like I was hoping, and they've gone ahead and made good on this, Nintendo is releasing, or really Bandai Namco through Nintendo, for the 3DS over there, is releasing a game called All Rider Revolution, which is a side-scrolling beat-em-up featuring all of these different characters. The best part about it is that if you pre-order now, you get a download code for the Mighty Action X game that's there shown in Kamen Rider X-Aid.
In the television series,
yes.
yeah.
and you also get all of these different bonuses, like a card for the Ganba Rising game, a Buto Boss Soul medal, a little poster, a little Gashot that actually works in the deluxe belt.
Quite a lot of stuff. It's probably expensive as heck.
My wallet already hurts because it knows I want to use it to purchase said
how
thing.
much is the whole pre-order?
See, that's the thing. I can't seem to find anybody who's pre-ordering it yet, and I want it badly. But you
don't even know what Japanese sites have it?
No, I haven't been able to find it yet. I've been looking.
All right.
Maybe I'm just looking in the wrong places, but then I also have to get a Japanese 3DS, and it's this whole thing. I just really want the stuff.
I know you do.
I want it real bad.
I know you do.
But I'm going to have to wait and get through the show first.
Yes.
So that's all our follow-ups. Let's go ahead and get started with our first story.
Okay, so first story was, of course, 66 Batman, right?
Yes.
So let's take a look at 66
Which was right here.
Yeah, which is right there.
Okay,
yeah,
so...
You go ahead and start talking. I thought I'd grabbed these, but just talk.
Okay, so the way this is working out is starting this Monday, and really for one night only, Fathom Events is going to have a premiere of the newest DC animated movie, Batman 66 Return of the Caped Crusaders. Of course, this famously is showing off the voice talents of the original actors Adam West and Burt Ward, and Julie Newmar as well, returning to reprise her role as Catwoman. Now, the thing about it is, ever since last year, they've been really trying to bring 66 Batman back into the forefront of the public consciousness like it was back in the 60s. Ever since they've released the entire series, which is available on DVD now. I've almost got the whole thing, because I promised myself as a 5-year-old kid that this was my introduction to Batman.
Yeah.
Right? I grew up with this Batman. Adam West was my Batman, up until I learned about Michael Keaton. But that was him to me, and I promised myself, even as a 5-year-old, because I knew back then they didn't sell it. I wish they had sold it just so I could watch it ad nauseum. When that day comes, I'm going to purchase this on whatever medium it's on. And I've done that, and I'm absolutely going to purchase this next movie.
Yeah, well, you were kind of not so sure about hearing Adam West speaking
as
were
Batman.
You,
because admittedly, that first trailer... Like, let's not kid ourselves. Adam West ain't no spring chicken anymore. He's aged a bit. Now, Burt Ward sounds funny. He still sounds like the Robin he always was. Adam West, I'm hoping, like, maybe you guys just used a bad take or something.
Nah, he's just old.
Yeah.
That's it. He's just old. I think that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, naturally they get older, and you would hope the voice holds out a little longer, but here it's like, well, maybe we'll just make the conceit for the movie. Mm-hmm. And we thought that was going to be all it was because it was just that one movie. Well, we just found out, like I said, maybe an hour ago, that they're coming out with a sequel movie. Now, that's one thing to start off with, because there's very few DC animated movies where they say, okay, we're releasing the movie, but before we've even released this one, we're telling you about the next one that's a direct sequel coming down the pipeline.
Right.
Usually that's reserved for Justice League or something like that. This latest round that they've been doing, starting with Justice League War, and then most recently with... Justice League versus Teen Titans. Like, all of those are sequels. Mm-hmm. Whereas here, we're getting a sequel that's very important for two different reasons. One, they're, again, bringing back the original cast. Mm-hmm. So, you know, they're still there as the dynamic duo they always were. But the second thing is that they're going to be displaying a villain that was never shown in the 66 series.
So now that you've said that, let me
which is going to be Two-Face. Now, we've got the picture here of Two-Face, and for those of you who haven't heard the news already, we'll see if you guys can tell just from this screenshot that we've got here, because they've designed the look of Two-Face to look like the actor playing him at the time. Two-Face will be played by none other than the great William Shatner. William Shatner's going to be friggin' Two-Face. All right? Now, let's think about this for a second. Let's do context first.
Okay.
So in the 66 series, they had plans to bring in Two-Face, but they were having a hard time, you know, at the time, they were in the 60s, figuring out, well, how are we going to bring him onto the show when his origin is very gruesome? You know, he's clearly disfigured.
Yeah, that was not something they were totally into, especially given the tone of 66 Batman at the time.
Because you got to take into account, only in the first episode does Bruce ever mention that his parents were murdered.
Yeah.
Beyond that, it is never brought up again. Mm-hmm. Which is why, you know, in Schumacher's Batman and Robin, it's kind of in that same tone. It's like, oh, we were harkening back to the 66 series, and this is the movie where we never mentioned Bruce ever had a problem with his parents. Mm-hmm. Like, far as we know, they're off on vacation right now.
Yeah.
So they were trying to figure out how exactly they were going to bring that into play. Now, they were working on a few different ideas as to how he was going to be brought in, and they had an actor in mind. Now, a lot of people know this, but and some people have it there in the chat. Clint Eastwood was originally the guy they had in mind to play Two-Face when they got around to him. The problem was the series was canceled there in the 3rd season, so we never got to see him. So now we're going in a completely different direction. All of these, because 76, 86, 96, 50 years later, my God, 50 years later.
My
God! That man had a family, and that family might be shown in animated form. But we finally get to see Two-Face interact with Batman.
Right. I think that's fascinating, and that it's also fascinating that the way they're portraying Two-Face, clearly they're drawing him to look like William Shatner and to look like William Shatner circa 1966.
Yeah, because you asked me, he's got Kirk hair in this.
Yeah, he kind of does. He does. I agree.
And the thing about it is, based off the campiness of the series and based off Shatner at the time, because we all know what Shatner was like there on Star Trek, you know, we call things Shatnering for a reason nowadays. It's perfect to me. I'm very happy with this. Like, I can't explain and convey clear enough how happy I am that he's the one playing Two-Face.
I'm not sure how I feel about this, because given the nature of what Two-Face is, I see a monster on one side, and I see William Shatner on the other side, and it's very difficult for me to see a potential city mayor...
a district attorney.
District attorney. It's very difficult right now because I just see William Shatner.
Well, because I'm imagining because
they could have drawn him as anybody because he wasn't cast in 1966.
But the thing about it is the way they're going with this movie, with everybody there, they're drawn to look the way they were with those actors. Like Adam West, Batman will be drawn looking like Adam West. Robin will be drawn looking like Burt Ward. Joker will be drawn dressed like looking like Cesar Romero. There's the resemblance there. So if you got William Shatner playing Two-Face, you have to draw him looking like William Shatner.
You say have to as if William Shatner showed up as Two-Face in the series, though. He could have been anybody. He could have looked like anyone.
Well, see, I think it would be even weirder if they had gone in that direction. You get William Shatner to play him, but you draw him looking like Clint Eastwood. That wouldn't have looked right.
Oh, that would have been hilarious, and then have Carrie Fisher sign pictures of these, so it doesn't look like...
Inside jokes, yes.
It doesn't look like anybody in particular.
A picture of William Shatner...
Voiced by Clint Eastwood.
No, a picture of Clint Eastwood voiced by William Shatner, signed by Carrie Fisher.
Yes.
And authenticated by Mark Hamill.
Yes.
That's the way that goes. But see, here's the thing you gotta figure out. Since this is the first time we're ever seeing Two-Face in this medium for this particular iteration of Batman, they've got to do the origin story.
Which origin story?
Well,
Batman's origin story?
No, Two-Face's origin story. Because the thing about it now, it really, again, going into the Two-Face thing, I'm 50-50 on the subject. Because on the one end, because we never got him in the show, I'm willing to bet that they'll give him the origin story, and albeit a modified version that's a little more campy and in keeping with the tone of the show. Or they'll do like many of the other villains on the show and just admit, they exist here. We don't need to show you their origin. They've always been this way. That was always the case with most of them. I think like only 2 villains get their origin stories told. That's Mr. Freeze and King Tut.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 ones you see. Otherwise, Joker is Joker from episode 1. Catwoman is Catwoman from the first time you've seen her. So, really, I'm actually pretty good with either decision.
Yeah, I think if they don't explain it, that's totally fine. I don't even see, at that point, why there was even a struggle in the first place to introduce Two-Face at all, when they probably weren't going to tell his origin story anyway.
Well, see, that was the problem. They were trying to figure out how to work in his origin story or explain away how he got scarred. And really, the best they could have done is just do like Batman, explain it, oh, it's something that happened off screen. Like, we'll tell you this happened, and then we never have to show you, on with the wacky hijinks of Batman 66.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And so, that's gonna be so good. Because, like, the writers, once they found out, because this is the other thing I have to think about, did the writers go into this knowing William Shatner was gonna be Two-Face? Of this particular upcoming movie.
Well, I imagine they would have had to have started casting good and early, so especially if you have to animate. Yes, surely they would have known.
So if they know they got Shatner, or they had Shatner in mind from the get-go, you better believe they probably wrote something to let him bring out his old Shatner.
He'll just do it just because. Just because that's who he is and it's a thing to do. And that he can't help it. That's who he is. That's how he speaks. That's like asking you to not go one day without talking about anything Common Right or something. It doesn't matter what it is. That's just who you are.
Well, yeah, but I'm just trying to think about the delivery. Like, all right, Batman, we'll have to flip for it. Like that's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, but again, you don't have to write that. He'll just say it.
Yeah.
He'll just say it like that, and they have to animate around him.
Now, see, here's the thing. I'm hoping, not to spend too much more time on this. If they're gonna do this with Shatner, what if they do it for all the other Batman villains that never showed up on the show?
What do you mean?
Well, like other villains that maybe showed up later on, like a '66 version of Killer Croc. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Okay.
If they redo Mr. Freeze with a different actor, because he got played by 2 different actors there. I'm trying to think of all the other ones that they could throw in.
Well, do you think they would even do villains that showed up post '66?
I don't know, but I think that would be hilarious. I think
it would be funny, but I don't think they would do it because that would be less accurate to the time. You know?
I'm just saying, and I'll leave it off with this: '66 Bane.
Okay.
It'd be hilarious.
I can't picture it. I don't know how it would be funny.
Basically, he'd be just like Schumacher's Bane, but except in the right place.
Okay.
I think that would be funny.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yes.
Yes.
Or, well, no. Well, maybe it's not such a good idea. No, let's just see how this one goes.
Yes, let's just see how this one goes.
So yes, we'll provide you guys with more information on that as it becomes available, but I'm very, very happy with this casting.
All right.
Oh, yes.
Well, we need to look forward to the first movie first.
That's true.
Yes.
Okay, let's go on to the second story.
Second story, let me get an image on in here. It's Twitch.
That's a box.
Yeah, well, the box, it has a smiley face. You recognize the smiley face, right?
It's Amazon.
Yeah, this picture was so dumb because we're both sitting in front of the things.
So you picked a picture that's completely obscured by us.
Yeah, I could move.
I mean, I can... No, like, I don't... You know what? There's a box.
I can shrink the picture a little bit, and then we can put it, like, kind of there, and then... yeah, we'll put that, like, right there. You know what? Why not? So, yeah, a while back, Amazon had purchased Twitch, and we were like, well, how's that gonna work? You remember when they were talking about YouTube possibly purchasing Twitch, and everyone was like, oh, no.
Yes, because YouTube has been making so many great decisions. We're broadcasting on YouTube right now.
Well, thank God that didn't happen, because Amazon went and got it, and everyone was like, oh, okay, that's all right.
So
it's
not
just a
YouTube.
surprise.
Okay, all right.
And now finally it feels like they're actually doing something with it, because just announced during TwitchCon this past week, we got the announcement of Twitch Prime, which functions, if you probably recognize the idea of Prime, because Amazon uses Amazon Prime in order to, ship stuff to you very, very quickly, but without charging you for shipping, or being able to watch very, very specific TV and movie programs over Prime. Take, for example, Kamen Rider Amazon's. Has it already hit Amazon
Not yet.
Prime? Okay, it's coming. It's still coming.
It's still coming.
So, now Twitch Prime is bundled into Amazon Prime. Your Amazon Prime subscription counts as Twitch Prime as well, and vice versa. And you can do this at, I believe it's, it's $11 a month. You can do it at $11 a month, or you can do the $99 a year subscription, like you've always been able to do.
Which is technically just slightly cheaper.
Yeah, just slightly cheaper over the full year, yes.
Now, see, here's the thing about it. With Amazon, I get it. If you ship a lot of things, if you watch a lot of programming, that makes sense. You want to be able to watch at a decent price. You want to be able to have things have 2-day, next day shipping. That's fine, or even same day with certain products. But with the addition of Twitch, like, I already get that instantly, so what am I really getting?
Okay, well, so what you're really getting is, because you load up somebody's channel, and then you get an advertisement. And you're like, oh, that sucks. If you have to reload it, you have to see another advertisement. Oh, that sucks. Or sometimes throughout the stream, you'll get another advertisement that'll pop up. Well, if you're subscribed with Twitch Prime, no more ads. Right? That's ad-free. On top of that, with certain Twitch streamers, some of them are big enough and popular enough that Twitch has said, hey, partner with us, you guys, and you can be making more money. We can have people not just follow you, but subscribe to you for $5 a month, and they'll get, like, special emoticons or whatever you feel like giving them under your channel. But with Twitch Prime, you can get one free subscription to a particular Twitch streamer of your choice. So you're not having to pay $5, but the Twitch streamer gets the $5.
Okay, so you're having to pay an extra $5 on top of the $11?
No, this is
or $5 comes out of the $11.
No. Listen to what I said again.
Okay.
Typically, a subscription on Twitch is when a person is a pretty popular Twitch streamer.
Right.
And they're partnered with Twitch, and Twitch says, okay, people are now going to be able to subscribe to just you for $5 and go ad-free, and you can give them special emoticons and stuff. However, now with Twitch Prime, you can get one free subscription to one streamer of your choice. So no, that is not an additional $5, but anybody else that you want to subscribe to after that, you would still have to pay the additional $5 to give that streamer in particular money for doing what they do.
So you'd, other than that first freebie, you have to give $5 to every streamer.
No, you do not. I see that you do not understand how subscribing on Twitch works. So,
well, if I don't understand it, how is anybody else?
Well, most other people were watching us on Twitch, so typically they would understand.
I would hope.
So Twitch streamers,
right?
Okay, you can still go and watch their stream.
Right.
However, they can lock off their chat rooms to only be accessible to the people who subscribe to them. They'll get special emoticons, like I said. You can
still don't get the point of that.
No, there's not really a point, but you can still watch them for free, and you don't have to watch ads when you subscribe to them.
Okay, so here's the thing I'm thinking about, because I think I get it, but I think I see a really, really big flaw in this plan, because Twitch and YouTube in that sense have a similar pool to pull from when it comes to people who are popular streaming. If there's one or two people who are really popular on Twitch, what's to say everybody who signs up for that uses the freebie on them?
It's whoever they choose to use it on.
Yeah, but does that person still make money off it if they're the one that keeps having the freebie used on them?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I wanted to make sure of. I don't want anybody getting ripped off here.
Nobody's getting ripped off.
Okay.
Everything is fine. I promise you, everything's fine.
Okay.
Furthermore, by subscribing to Twitch Prime, you also will start to get free monthly perks. Take, for example, free games or free skins inside of other games. For example, there's custom items right now for Smite and for Hearthstone, and there is a new game called Streamline that came out when launched with Twitch Prime, and that's a free game that you can get should you choose to subscribe to Twitch Prime. And it apparently is a really good game to stream on Twitch at the same time. That's what I'm hearing. I've not yet played it. I've not yet watched it. We don't have Twitch Prime yet. That's a thing we were looking into. But again, your Twitch Prime is the same thing as your Amazon Prime, so you subscribe to one, you get the other, vice versa. Now,
admittedly, you're more in the streaming game than I am. If I do watch anything, it's a replay over on YouTube. As far as Twitch goes, does this really seem like something that people are actually going to want?
Well, it sounds like it, because people were really excited about it, and people are like, oh man, who do I use my free subscription on? Who do I give that to? And who do I get to watch advertisement free, and like you can watch all of Twitch advertisement free now, but now you're also kind of like giving a particular Twitch user free money. Oh, I just squeezed my ecto cooler. Oh, it ruined my flow. And the flow fell on the floor.
That sounds dirty.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I gotta change my pants later. Well, anyway. So Twitch Prime.
We're doing this live, yeah.
So Twitch Prime, yes. Subscribe for free for a month to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now the thing about this is Amazon can grow as far as what Prime does because they can always add more products. The TV and movies, they can always add more of those to seem more appealing. Where does this Twitch Prime have to go from here?
More freebies, more free games, more free skins, more free stuff in your games. I mean,
it's
what?
Still
what?
worth it though.
You don't watch Twitch, so I guess it's
yeah.
not
So
worth
I'm having
it to
so
you.
I'm having to question it.
So you already don't pay for anything. You already.
Yeah, but remember, I was considering, or I am still very much considering Amazon Prime, so this would come with it. Will I bother using it? Is really, I guess, what I'm asking.
No, you won't, because you don't play PC games either. So you're not going to.
Well, not until I get the dang processor.
No, just so I guess. Unless you actually care about see, I think a lot of our audience cares about streaming.
I'm sure they do.
It's very difficult when you don't watch streaming and you don't stream games and you don't play games on your PC.
Well, I streamed like once on YouTube.
Oh my God, Josh! Maybe I shouldn't have talked about this. Maybe this was a bad idea. I don't know.
I'm questioning whether or not Twitch Prime is a good idea.
I think
That's my whole point.
Okay, you don't have an argument for it.
I can't argue it.
I'm turning this off.
Okay.
We're getting rid of this. So you better have 15 minutes worth of stuff to talk about with the next thing.
Let's do 10.
10. Okay, fine.
No, we've got time for this one. So, all right. The thing about this one is, yeah, it's admittedly almost clickbaity the way it's that people are coming at it. So.
And now we're covering up the pictures of we're covering up the
wow,
people
this is like
in the pictures.
So the only people we could get on screen, well, I say people because there's two personalities, there's Two-Face, and then we're covering up every other person. You know what? Let's cover them up. Anyway, we're having this discussion.
Yes, we're having this discussion.
No, just go ahead, rotate back.
All right,
there you go.
Fine.
Okay. So anime director Yutaka Yamamoto, who directed famously the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya and Lucky Star. He basically went on record as saying that to him, anime is dead.
Okay, so that was back in like July though. So
right.
He had another interview after that.
More recently,
back
last
on
week.
September 27th.
Last week.
Asking, okay, what did you really mean by that? So what did he really mean by that?
What he's talking about is basically the height of anime right now is all in the glorification of moe, which of course is this. Well, it's not really that easy to define for people who have no idea what anime is, but it's basically this very niche, cutesy. It's designed to be titillating, but not quite. But yes, definitely in your face, but not so much. Like it's writing a fine line here. And that anime has pretty much been overcome with it to the point of fascism, which I would have never...
He used the word fascist.
He used fascism.
Moe is becoming fascist in the sense that its depiction is controlled by unwritten rules. I'm not really sure what he means by that.
Well, because he's basically saying that they don't... There are rules, and the job of Moe is to blatantly... play with those rules to the like I'm saying, pushing it to the as far as it can go, and then pull back because it's the tease of moe and kind of this illicit feeling that you get from it. Well, not really illicit. I don't think is the right word. Just it's hard to describe it. Basically, that's where he's coming from. That too much of that has seeped into the current stock of what's out there in anime, and it's ruined it, and it's dead to him now. To a certain extent,
which is so strange because he creates things like Lucky Star and Haruhi Suzumiya, which I think has elements of moe within them,
certainly
especially
Lucky
in Lucky Star. I do not understand his gripes then, because those were phenomenally popular upon their launch.
Here's the thing I got to think about with that, because he makes that, and then he gets to see what he sows that, and then he reaps back all of these fans of Lucky Star, for example. And all of these fans are very rabid Moe fanboys, and it's kind of the same thing that would happen with Miyazaki saying, oh, anime was a mistake. No, these guys, they work in the industry, they love it, they grow up with it, they dream about the day they can become animators and directors.
Right.
They get to do it, and then when they actually get it done and they become as big as they are in their fields, what they get back from the fans isn't necessarily what they thought they were going to get back. Because as a creator, you make something with an audience in mind, but that's never exactly what you get back. Whoever likes it is whoever likes it.
Right.
So I can't say you can really pick and choose with something as broad as anime. Like, do you really understand what you're going to do, how far this is going to reach? Did you think with either of those series, Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya or Lucky Star, that you'd have fans just as rabid in the States for that? Or maybe you did, and you were hoping that wasn't the case. You were hoping that you were really going to touch somebody with this. I think back to that series Blue Blazes.
Right, I really like Blue Blazes, in fact.
Where they depict a young Hideaki Anno. He makes this...
Created later on Evangelion and other such things. He's made Godzilla.
Shin Godzilla.
Shin Godzilla.
When he was there in art school, he made this, famously made this Ultraman short film for a school project, and he's depicted there in the show as he puts the show on for his class there or whatever for a project, and they're all laughing at it, but they're very much entertained.
And they thought that's what it was supposed to be because they enjoyed it. The problem wasn't that they didn't enjoy it.
But the problem is that Anno is absolutely fed up with their reaction to it, because he's like, "No, you got it all wrong. I was trying to make you feel something." And the thing about it is that that's absolutely his right as the director. He had something in mind when he created that, because to him, and he's admitted as much over the years why he was working on Shin Godzilla, is that it was a passion project for him. It was something that really meant a lot to him.
Right.
And so when the audience does take it in and they are buying into the product that he's put out there, but not in the manner that he meant it to be, yeah, that can be really friggin' depressing for a creator.
I guess I get that, yeah. But at the same time, I also would think that it's kind of an honor to realize that something you made touched the lives of so many people, and that they found something in it that so spoke to them, regardless of what it was.
Now, I get that. I absolutely get that. But bringing it back to his comments of, oh, anime is dead. Now, he doesn't say dead to me. He's saying it's dead.
I respectfully disagree.
I would have to do the same.
Because I feel like it, as an art form, as a medium, it's just constantly changing.
Right.
As he knew it, is it dead? Probably.
Probably.
But is the industry dead? Is the format dead? No. It's not gonna go anywhere. Clearly, I think he knows that too.
I think the better way I would have put it if I was in his shoes, I wouldn't have said it was dead. I would say, like has happened before, it's in a rut. It's in a moe rut, and then eventually trends will get over it, and then they'll move on to the next big thing.
Right.
Because if you look at the history of anime, at least for, let's say, the last 40, 50 years, trends change. What is the popular style at the time changes. The 80s, it was giant robots. 90s, it was, shonen characters. 2000s, a deconstruction of that. And then nowadays, yeah, you're seeing this overabundance of moe and what remember we were talking about this a while back. There's that series of girls who fight with their butt.
What?
No,
you
know the one I'm talking
butt
about.
Wrestling.
Like butt wrestling, yeah,
where they have to knock each other off the platform and then they fall.
I didn't mean to freak anybody out right now. I'm just saying that series exists. Somebody probably knows the title, but I haven't seen it yet. Maybe I shouldn't have said yet.
I don't know if I want to. I really kind of don't want to.
Point being, stuff like that happens all the time. We live in an era now, and really it's been like that for at least the last 10 years, if not more, where a lot of the popular anime out there were based off hentai games.
Yes, that's true. Or not even necessarily hentai, but
visual novels.
Yeah, visual novels, and of course visual novels frequently go down a sex path, but so in that case I guess you could call it hentai, but yeah, visual novels have been enormously huge. And even right now, there's anime that are being made and released this very season based on visual novels.
Well, because the thing about that is it's marketed to somebody. Somebody's buying it. Somebody's purchasing it. Clearly, somebody enjoys it. And it's kind of the same argument there with anime that I would even say for some people with tokusatsu. Some people I know that I used to talk to years ago don't care for it anymore. What got them into it isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
So they've sworn off it. But that doesn't mean that as a genre it's dead. What made it appealing to you is dead.
Yes.
And that's a completely different standpoint.
Right,
because
I agree.
if you're not the fan, there's somebody else who is. Kind of the same thing. If you liked the Showa era, if you liked the beginning of the Heisei era, but you don't like how things are right now in the latter part of the Heisei era, there's clearly enough people who do. And those fans are going to keep the genre going.
Right, right.
Until such a time as somebody decides to come along and bring something new to the table. And there's room for that. Just because it's still going and it's in a rut doesn't mean it's dead. It just means what you're looking for isn't there right now.
Yeah.
That's not saying it can't ever come back. That's not saying it can't ever be something better than what it was. It just means that that's for you. But I wouldn't go on saying that it's dead. Surely, yeah, I watch a lot less anime now than I used to.
Yeah, as do
because
I,
certain things don't appeal to me anymore. But every so often, I've seen at least 1 or 2 shows a season now. They'll catch my eye still. And I'll go in and I'll watch and I'll be like, yeah, I kind of feel the way I used to. Not nearly as hard, though. Maybe like the gem here or there, like One Punch Man. But it's still in there. And I think having that objective reasoning to see, you know what, if I can still go back and enjoy this every so often, it's not dead if what I enjoyed about it still lives on in here.
Right.
And I can do something with it and give it back, especially if you're a creator.
Yeah, it's not like, take for example, people will swear by Cowboy Bebop to this day.
Right, absolutely.
And if anime has moved on past the kind of art and presentation that Cowboy Bebop is, it doesn't mean that Cowboy Bebop doesn't still exist. Like, nobody destroyed all of Cowboy Bebop. It's still there on the internet somewhere, or on a DVD or Blu-ray disc somewhere. It's alright, guys. It's still alive.
Here's the other side of that. Like, you might think, oh, well, that's very, lofty thinking there, that, oh, it's still alive if it's inside me. No. Especially for this guy right here, for this director, he's got even more on him to change something about it because he's into the industry. If you think anime is dead, what are you doing to bring it back to life?
Yeah, do something about it. Yeah, he doesn't have to watch it die. He could make something, and because he's made really super popular titles, I get the feeling that he could come up with something else and they would just take it because of who he is. He could sell the world whatever he wanted if he wanted to.
Because that's the thing. If you see something and it means that much to you, if you're like one of those people depicted there in Blue Blazes, if you're this director of anime and you see that things aren't the way they used to be and you think things are dead, you're in the position to bring it back to life. Don't just watch it happen. Actively do something to show people, hey, this is something I grew up on that means something to me. Let me develop that and show a whole new audience, not even just an old audience. Absolutely give some love to them, but show people now where you're coming from. For the people who grew up liking Cowboy Bebop so much, loving it, getting tattoos of it, those people are out there.
Yeah.
If you're in the animation industry or you're getting into it, you can get to that point where you can put your thing out there that's inspired by, hey, this is something I really loved and I've blended it with myself to give you this. And this is something completely different but at the same time familiar. And if you can do that, I think that's the best thing you can do with your experience and your love of the thing you say got you to that point.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think.
Yeah, because you want it to die. It's up to you to let it die.
Or to save it.
Or save it, yeah.
Okay, I'm done with this guy.
I'm done with this kid.
I'm done with this guy. I think he needs to get his head back in the game, and he could save it if he really wanted to.
Yes.
So, and
Get
so
with it,
could
act like you want
so
it.
could any of us.
Yes.
It's up to us to save anime, Josh.
We have to save anime.
We have to save it. If we don't watch this thing,
it might not make it.
Might not make it. And I guess that's gonna be it for now. Thanks for coming back out to see us on YouTube again, you guys.
It's good to be back.
This is where we're going to bring the show again from this point on, and this is where video game streams are going to go again from this point forward as well. But it's also going to stick around on Twitch and Hitbox and all the other places where I said
we'll be here until the next emergency.
Yeah, until the next emergency comes up and I have to go running back solely to Twitch or something. But thank you as always. If you are not watching this with us live right now, I really wish you could be down here. Come on down and see us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Central at youtube.com/MarsGirl/live. Let me say the link.
Okay.
youtube.com/MarsGirl/live. And yes, you can talk to these guys, just like he said. You can talk to all of these guys who very happily are talking with one another and would like to talk to you too.
Yes.
And we're going to do half an hour of Q&A right after this also.
Yes, absolutely. And you can always talk to us during the week over on social media. On Twitter, I'm at JoshKnight1st.
And I'm at MarsGirl.
And that having been said, that's been this week's episode of Beyond the Black Rims. We will see you guys again next week.
Thanks, everybody.